Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very Merry Christmas special episode here on the podcast, as you know, as your local Cineplex. And I have, who came back as an amazing guest, Danny. Danny, welcome back.
Thank you. It's exciting to be back.
It's an honor to have you back.
Oh, it's an honor. It's an honor to be on your show.
Yeah, I feel bad because I didn't tell you, hey, wear a Christmas hat, Santa hat.
Yeah, I failed, man.
Yeah, I didn't tell you.
I really
failed there. I failed.
The Christmas spirit, I promise. Inside.
I feel it.
I'm there.
I feel it.
Yes.
But I promise you, everybody, Danny is in the Christmas spirit. So
I am.
Just imagine. Yeah, too bad we don't have those filters.
Yes.
The filter.
That's right. I could have
of
a
a hat.
spooky face, and every time I open my mouth, some gross stuff comes out, of my mouth. And,
Yeah, candy canes.
Yes,
eggnog.
candy canes. Well, and I promise you, too, I am not sitting in bed. This is a couch. It's a cool thing behind me, or bedpost thing. So I promise this is not weird.
Well, I was about to say, breaking news. Everybody, breaking news. Danny does his best work in bed. That's the secret sauce.
I honestly kind of do, but just roll my pillows and lay back, and then I find myself like I'm sitting up, and then I slowly, and then I have to push myself back up again, and I just keep slowly going vertical or horizontal. I started vertical.
First, we'll start off with Danny. Do you have any favorite Christmas movie posters?
Okay. So just liking a poster doesn't mean I love the movie, but some of them I do. I mean, I had to go through yesterday and look up some different Christmas posters and just kind of. The hard thing, right, is like I love the posters, but over the last 20 years or 30 years or so, oftentimes seeing these movies being displayed on like a VHS or a DVD, and so they often change the cover, just like they do with like Netflix, with the little image. They're kind of switching them out to just get people to like watch this, and so like I'm like, just put the poster on the front. It's made for these things, and it looks so much better than your weird, like new composition. Taking stills from the movie and making compositions. So I'll say, I think my favorite is probably A Christmas Story. That being taken, the design very much based off of like the Saturday Evening Post. It's interesting, because I don't remember the poster until I was looking yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, this thing's gorgeous.
Yeah. And gorgeous.
The artist,
gorgeous.
Robert Tenenbaum. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. Robert Tenenbaum. This artist, all of a sudden I'm like, okay, this guy's incredible, and I'm looking through a lot of his other posters from the 70s and 80s, and it's just like, I'm just in love with this guy's work, So if you get a chance, go do a little bit of research on him, because the compositions and the power, the tension in his posters are insane. So that artist, creating A Christmas Story poster, I think is really, really powerful. And man, it brings up a lot of the vintage vibes. A lot of it has a little bit of Norman Rockwell feel to it. And it's funny because his signature it's funny on the little bit of deep dive I was doing, his signature looks like Norman Rockwell's signature as far as the font and everything. I'm thinking, the influence is very direct, very on the nose.
Yeah.
But that one is probably the one that's hit me the most, which Drew Struzan you know, he's taken a lot of that influence as well,
Right.
from the same artist. But of course, I have to say too, like Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase being electrocuted, looking like a star on top of the house. That is just brilliant. I mean, that one stands out so much. I mean, obviously, the Home Alone, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just classic. I mean, Christmas Carol. I mean, I know I'm supposed to say my favorite. I'm giving favorites. So the Drew Struzan, like Muppet Christmas Carol. I mean, it's perfect. Oh, yeah. It's perfect. Beautiful. It's so him. That is such a beautiful, beautiful poster. Mwah. Yes, it is gorgeous. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Oh, consume it with my eyes. So, yeah, those are the ones that are hitting me the most. What's your favorite?
Well, I mean, it's funny. I mean, it's it's the same, really. My first one was A Christmas Story. So I was like, oh yeah, I completely forgot about it too. I'm like, I know that movie. I'm like, I think that... Because my thing was like, okay, I know the posters I'm gonna like are definitely not from 80s, 90s. I feel like it was the older Christmas movies that had the illustrated painted. So I was like, I'll start looking at those. I'm like, oh yeah, Christmas Story. Even though it was done in the 80s, it was a 1940s period, right? So then they had to do a era accurate poster, and they sure did. And wow, I was like, this is perfect. It's gorgeous. It just has that. It has that Christmassiness to it. It's the coziness. It's, to me, it's like to not do some sort of, whether it's traditional illustration or it could be digital illustration,
right?
Where it's, you know, a composition, a photo comp together, and then you illustrate over that. Even in that, I'm like, at least make it that. If it's a Christmas movie, so even though I do like Home Alone,
oh yes,
yeah, because it is a photo comp poster, but it's still, it weirdly does it for me. I don't know why, but
well, and one of the things I love about the Christmas Story poster, another thing I like about it, besides being illustrated, is the characters are not, they're not just like, here's a photo reference and you just paint the photo reference. Like the characters are a little bit exaggerated, like they're walking, you know, coming out from the center, going out. It's very much kind of spanning out. You know, you've got your main guy, what's his name, Ralphie, in the middle. You know, I mean, it's funny, he's wearing a white bunny suit. It's not the pink one, I just noticed.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh,
I mean,
that's right.
Who knows? He must have not even seen the movie at that point, you know. And I don't know how that works, you know, as far as that timing, when that where we usually have the benefit of of already having some skills and stuff like that.
I can imagine it was originally white, and then something happened in production. They're like, oh no, where did the white one go? Well, we have a pink one. So let's just use that.
It may even be just, it looks better white in the composition, and I mean, who knows, you know? I mean, it's just, really a lot of it was just get butts in seats, you know, to go see this movie. Yeah. But I love the exaggeration of the characters and their body pose. Like they're not even walking; they're almost like, like you don't walk like that, you know. But it's just kind of funny seeing these. I mean, I wish I could just pull it up, but it really is unusual. But I love the over exaggeration, and there's a little bit of slapstick to it. Where this movie really is kind of a timeless kind of movie, but there's a little bit of slapstick on the cover, and I know at that time that was what people were drawn to. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm sure there's a lot
I'm looking at it right now. And it's I love the father. It's his whole thing of like he's running with the leg lamp. It makes no sense if you think about it, the way he's holding it and all that, but it works for the composition. So I like that. I like that the artist is like, this may not be realistic, but it makes the composition funny, zany, slapstick, like you said. So
funny thing is too, right? Is like, not everybody. I remember like being a kid. Like sometimes we go to the theater to see a movie, and we didn't know what we were going to see until we were looking at the posters and like, oh, that looks funny. Let's go watch that. Where I think the benefit that we have today is we usually know what we're going to because we've seen ads everywhere and we've seen trailers, and so we're already like, okay, we're teased and we're excited. But I really do remember that sometimes going to see a movie back in the 80s or something, you know, you just see a poster and go, oh, that looks cool. Let's go see that. It's at 8 o'clock. Let's go see that, you know? And so sometimes all you know about a movie might just be the poster back in these days. You know, that was the thing. That was the one, that was the key art, right? That was the thing that sold everybody on it. Yeah.
Man, what a time. Yeah, nowadays people have at least 5-minute trailers they've already seen of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I've seen all the trailers. I pretty much know the movie now.
That's right. It's very little to be surprised about. So I am in a bustling coffee shop here, so so there's a little bit of noise. But people are alive in the state of Washington.
They all come in just to hear you talk. It's really an audience.
They're gathered around. Oh Lord!
Yeah, the first time I was like, yes, we have a live audience today at the coffee shop.
Yeah, they're rowdy. They're rowdy. Oh Lord!
There's hot chocolate everywhere, marshmallows on the floor. Yeah.
Right. Very lively.
It's a gasp. It's a gas, I tell you, a gas.
Ass.
I love that term. We got to bring that back.
It's a gas. Oh Lord. Rolled souls, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I don't want to go on this trajectory, but talking about that during WandaVision. Have you seen WandaVision?
Oh yes.
So
I love it.
And yeah, so in the 1950s episodes or 40s episodes, that's 50s. All the lingos they used.
Oh,
I was just like, I loved it. Because she used that, what's her name? Agatha. She was like, oh, that's a gas, you know.
Gas. Oh,
like, I love it. I'm bringing that back.
I remember TV Land, you know, when it was just rerun. You know, I Love Lucy and all these shows. Like, they were on all the time when I was a kid.
I grew up on that, yep.
Oh, I just love that stuff. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's all fake. It's just supposed to be fun, feel good, whatever, you know, but I don't know. There's a lot of that. I mean, it leaves a nostalgia, even though that time period was not like that.
Yeah.
But sold, you know, you take the best parts and, you know, eating up the Jim Crow, the other horrible stuff, and put it, you know, it doesn't exist here in our little perfect world. But you know, it's just like anything, like from childhood to growing up, and you find out the world's a lot worse. You thought it was just all cute and fun. And
what?
I know.
What's this? What's this doing? What's going on?
This isn't the world that I grew up with.
That's it. I'm going back.
Right.
I'm going back.
Go back to ignorance, you know?
Yeah. Eternal sunshine on the spotless mind.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Wrap it up.
There you go.
So, back to our movie poster talk. Because I spoke about Christmas Story, of course, was one of my favorite posters, as well as It's a Wonderful Life movie poster. Let me pull it up because it's actually a specific one. Let's see. Share. Chrome tab.
Is it the original or the DVD?
It's actually it's the Japanese, I believe. Do you see it?
Oh,
I shared it with you.
That.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it's there's a little bit of a heart shape with the two of them, the figures. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I love that because even the original, I mean, the topography is such a huge. It's like say what you mean, not just show. Where now it's show what you mean, and before it's like, okay, you got your Liberty Films, your Frank Capra's, because Jimmy Stewart. You went to see the movie because of him,
Right.
And, man, yeah, that's great though.
Yeah. Or you go see Donna Reed. I mean, come on.
Oh, of course. It's the second spot on the bill or third spot on the billing. But
yeah, look at that. So yeah, what I love about this is a lot of course, the posters took a very romantic direction with it. You should see at the bottom there. I'm not going to click on them, but basically it's kind of the same composition of James Stewart holding Donna Reed, and it's just that very romantic composition. So what I liked about this one was I like how the Japanese characters are displayed without it, with the actual painted work. And then I just like the oddly floating heads.
Yes, of course. You got your floating heads somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I prefer this type of floating head.
Oh, yeah. It's painted and it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting
and then
how
you have,
you're selling it to a very different audience where the American version is just the two of them. That's all you need to get people to go, oh, I want to see this. And then here in Asian market, it's like you need to add a lot more information, a lot more characters. Like, I don't know. I'm curious, like, why that was the chosen, to do a completely different, fresh piece of art,
I'm glad you said Asian. I'm pretty sure it's Japanese, but I could be wrong, so forgive me.
I don't know. I mean, I don't read kanji here.
Me either. I don't know. I just recently did a Japanese type project for a client, and so these characters look like it. So I'm just assuming. But don't come after me, please.
Oh no. Yeah, I had to be real careful because I was doing that Optimus Prime or Convoy poster for Moore Gallery, and I was doing some translation thing to do Optimus Prime or Optimus, and then I found out from James, no, it's actually, he's called Convoy in Japan or Asia market. It was Japanese to kanji or something like that. And so I'm trying to create a cool looking font based off of something, the closest font I can find, but they're just shapes to me, but I want them to look cool, and I'm not finding a straight up font to just use that font. It's really. So I'm like, man, I hope they're running this by some people. Well, they did, because it was going through Mattel. So Mattel, they approved it. So I'm like, it's on them, baby.
Yeah. And they're probably like, well, we're pretty sure Daddy knows what he's doing, so we're not going to check it out at all. Just send it out.
Oh, shoot.
No, I don't know anything. To double check. I thought it looked pretty, and
Google's
I did it that way.
It's Google's fault. Come on.
It's Google's fault.
Translate.
Yeah. Same thing I had to do, I was like, okay. I had to use Google Translate for these Japanese characters and all that, and so Yeah, I was like, well,
it works.
Yeah, not my fault. And so I actually have another one. Let's share that one too. White Christmas. And this particular White Christmas I like because of the type usage.
Oh, yeah. Create the Christmas tree. That's good.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Oh, yeah. That's very clever. Boy, that big white space to the left and right is bugging me. Gosh.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I'm like, is that working for me or not? I mean, I feel like I like it. I feel like it is unorthodox. I will say that. But I think it's working for me.
Oh, it's just those two floating, the two heads up above is just like, you got this nice triangle, but of course you're not going to want to have too much white space. Usually it just, especially in the time period. But yeah, that's interesting to really leave a lot of blank space for a poster in a time where you fill it with everything. But I do like that tree. Yeah. That is clever.
Yeah. I guess the only change they could have done. Yes.
Sorry.
I like that. It's all right. I just wanted to say that maybe it would have helped because right now it's such a stark, weird diagonal right there, right above the Piano Man. So maybe if it was more of a gradation going down from that gray.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That might help it. That may cure your problem. That might calm you down.
That might make me calm my rage.
Someone hurry, give Daddy a drink. He's
Well, and this designer artist, has probably been hearing this for years, and it was like some last minute, like, okay, take these two people out, or add these two guys in, or something, and it's just like, okay, send it.
Yeah, I would love to know the story of this. I'm like, were these heads like cut out and just like enlarged somehow, and who knows what?
Yeah,
there might be a horror story behind this poster.
Yeah. Oh, it looks art directed. Not saying it's good art directed, but it's definitely been art directed.
You're right.
I don't think an artist made the design. It feels like it's
You're right.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, I'm like, yep. This does not feel like
cooks in the kitchen. I mean, I've done a lot of designs where you have multiple cooks, and it's just like, okay, you got your thing here, you got your thing here, and you, other person, have your thing here. Is everybody satisfied?
Yeah. You're like, that's enough mashed potatoes.
Enough. That's right.
No, we don't put chocolate cake with the lobster.
No.
I don't care how many degrees you have, Mr. Art Director. We don't do that.
No, come on. Well, you can tell, like, the artists give up too, or
yeah. Well, now I'm second guessing that poster. I'm
Sorry, man.
I don't think I like it anymore. I like it still.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm done. No.
It's fine.
And so my last poster is from A Miracle on 34th Street, the '90s version. Of course, I love both movies, but I really like this
90s version.
Yeah, it's really good too.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that, but I do like that poster.
Yeah. I really like it. Yeah. But the best part with it, though, is for their the teaser poster. I believe it is the teaser. It's just a cropped in version of the main key art.
Well, glad they painted it detailed enough so it doesn't. I mean, still. Yeah. It looked too blurry.
Yeah. I wonder if the artist had a heart attack once he found out. We're just gonna crop in. Oh
God. Yeah.
Well, good thing I put more time into that sign.
Yeah, thank goodness. Don't zoom in too much on any of my posters, man.
Yeah, because that's a good point. So
maybe nice across the room, but
yeah. Yeah, that comes a disclaimer with all my art. Always a 6-foot barrier.
Stand 6 foot apart. Yeah. No, it's like, you remember like like early websites where they're like, move your screen, your sides into these 2 points. Recrop your screen and then view our website. Do you remember that?
I barely do.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember that all the time.
I remember that.
Size your screen to this particular dimension, then that's how our website's going to look good for you, And it's just like, who?
I'm bringing that back
for interaction. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Well, I remember there was always the download this, Macromedia plugin or something. It's like, I gotta do
oh my gosh.
Oh,
whew. Yeah.
Anyways, a little different. But
back to your point of like don't zoom into my work. I kind of feel like I run into that myself because I'm like, because sometimes you're like, you're trusting the eye to make it look right. So I'm like, well, I just put just these colors and this arrangement. The eye will say, oh, it's this, as long as you don't zoom in on it. So
it's really tough. Like, there's some artists, when you actually buy a poster and then you're looking at it closely, it's very different than as we all see these things on the screen. There's just so much more detail, and I feel like for me, it's not. You can't really. I'm looking at the full composition. I'm given the full view, but like, you get too close, it may not be as magical looking. I don't know. But some artists can really get in there, and every little pore is just perfectly detailed. And I appreciate that. It's so much more. I just don't have the patience, honestly.
Right.
I just got to make something quick, and then it's done, and I'm moved on.
So basically, what everyone can learn from this episode is, with my art and Danny's art, if you buy it and you look close enough,
stand 6 foot.
It falls apart. Yeah, don't look too close.
Don't look too close.
What is this?
Exactly.
It's an extreme pointillism, because that's all it is, right? It's pointillism, just a little bit more clever.
True.
Yeah, because my brother was working on an art piece, and the reference photo, he couldn't. It was low res, right? So he couldn't really paint what was there. I'm like, well, just do what, pointillism style, just like paint those shapes, those colors, and people will know it's this. And he did that. He's like, oh, okay, that works.
That works, yeah. No, I mean, that's always a big thing with reference is, it's really, you kind of have to make the rest up sometimes, or I don't know. It's I don't like when, I mean, obviously nobody likes it when you can't find good reference for the art or the character, the actor that you're painting. But sometimes you're just going to have to really go in and add, characters from head to navel, and you need more. You're just going to have to paint the rest in, I mean, find some other reference to match up, or just paint the rest in. And so I don't want to be dictated by the photos I can find,
Yeah.
It's where you gotta be a little more creative than just relying on the reference to carry everything. Anyways, side note.
Yeah, well, that's, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I do want to say this, is that's where you really grow. It's a uncomfortable growth, because you have to, like, okay, I'm gonna have to learn how to do this, get stronger, because I can't rely on reference photos. I have to learn how to paint better and make it work.
Yeah, so true. 100%.
Yeah. So kids, remember that.
Don't forget that, kids.
Yeah.
Today's lesson.
Yeah. Listen to Uncle Danny.
That's right.
Uncle Zach, yeah.
Uncle Zach and Danny.
We know what we're talking about. We think.
Right,
Asterisk, we think.
we think.
So, I guess the next my question to you is, do you think if John Hughes was still making movies, would they work? Would they be just as successful, or would his projects even get greenlit? You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I got people knocking on the window saying hi.
My gosh, you're popular.
I come to the same places, so I have all these friends here. For an artist, I'm a very social. I'm not introverted, honestly. Like, I spend a lot of time at home by myself drawing, and it's just like, I want to be around people. John Hughes, I mean, that's a... Like, I'm trying to think about, like, what aspect. I mean, I feel like there is lots of stuff like him, or at least influenced from him. Did he ever make anything that kind of had like a Christmas vibe to it? I'm trying to remember, like...
Well, I mean, Home Alone, he was involved with that. I think he was involved with the writing. Okay. So to me, that's...
Oh,
for me,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Right,
that's
so you definitely feel his influence in that.
Yeah. I mean, his formula, right? Or formulas. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call.
Because even the actors, right? I mean, let's say, like I was talking about trains, planes, and automobiles. If, let's say they would do that today, right? Maybe it's like a remake, let's say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, who would play? I mean, do we have anybody who's like the level of Steve Martin and John Candy? I can't think of anybody.
Yeah. I mean, we had like Chris Farley had a little bit of that John Candy. Yeah. I don't know. I went back and rewatched like Planes, Trains, Automobiles like a couple years ago, and it's interesting. You know, there's just the humor, like the beats, the humor, like it's funny, but it's also like you're not constantly having to just like hit you over the face with comedy.
Yeah.
You know, like it does take its time a little bit, and it's not as like fast-paced commercial. You know, I don't know. There's something I kind of like about that. Like it gives you a moment to kind of calm down, watch the story, and then you get hit with a humorous point or whatever. I don't know. You know, some slapstick thing, but
yes.
I mean, yeah, it's tough. I'm not sure. Like I was thinking about this, and I felt like, oh shoot, I feel like I need to go rewatch some John Hughes films. I mean, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is like my favorite, but like, I don't know, man. I wish I had a better answer for you.
It's a hard question. I mean, I don't blame you. I can't even like put together what's like, yeah, those beats are definitely there.
Yeah, but like you know, with a lot of his movies with teenagers, you know, music was a big part of it. You know, a really good soundtrack, you know, was very key. You know, yeah, you were definitely, even at those times, like those characters were sometimes really pushing it. You know, push it as far as like what people were comfortable with. Where teenagers, you know, were really loving it. You know, it's definitely you know, pushing that PG rating. You know,
yeah.
Though PG back then was covered for PG-13. I mean, yeah,
right.
But anyways, it was I don't know. Hughes had just a special magic and formula that I don't know if it can be repeated today, because it just so many directors and writers have built up on top of that, and added more.
Yeah.
And today's audience expects more in a way, Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough call.
Because to me, it's even the talent too. Like even if we had a John Hughes, where do we have the same talent? Because I can't think of anybody. Like I mean, just take the Home Alone sequel, right? That came out last year. I mean, it misses the mark. So hard.
You see the trailer, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
You got original. No. Yeah. I mean, if you can put Molly Ringwald in something, I'll watch it because she's definitely stole my heart. But I don't know, man. That's a tough call.
It's like I did appreciate that they really brought the slapstick into it, which I guess is a prerequisite for a Home Alone film.
Yeah. No, a lot of those remakes, like I don't know. I mean, remakes in general, if it really needs to be remade, but so many things don't need to be remade. It just if something is really timeless, it just doesn't need it, And I mean, that's the thing. There's a nostalgia that's built into. I mean, it wasn't nostalgic at the time, but if people grew up with Home Alone and there's the nostalgia of it, I understand they're trying to do like a new generation, get kids with the same premise, but it's kind of like this thing still, even a kid watching Home Alone from today, will still get it and love it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how anybody, it feels like it's just a money grab, honestly. Though, of course, there's talented people, creative people working on this stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like there's no need for it. Like, why would you remake that? I mean, why would you remake Lawrence of Arabia? It just doesn't.
Right.
I don't know. Why? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It didn't need to be done. And there's nothing like, there's no reason why kids would not relate with the original Home Alones. They're funny and they work.
Original, baby.
Yeah, we don't need a rehash of it. Of course, they added their like the current, I guess things that kids would relate with. It was social media and that type of stuff. Which,
oh my gosh,
for an old fart like me, I'm like
Get that stuff.
Get away from me. Where's my talk boy?
I don't know.
All right. Well, everyone. Entourages. Okay.
Cool.
Well, again, Danny, thanks for humoring me and coming back on the show.
You're welcome.
For our Christmas special.
My pleasure. Well, have a wonderful Christmas and an awesome New Year.
Yes. Merry Christmas, everyone.